before the latest cold weather patch hit us, I got on the bike with my boy Luke Skywalker here, and we did a nice big long, mostly street loop, but we did get into some dirt, and it was terrifying.
My name is Moto Giant, yeah, that's my claim.
Like I said, it was 99% street. There was probably less than 100 feet of dirt, but it was terrifying, mostly because I'm in panic mode when it comes to stopping. I've mentioned it before. When I come to a stop at a stoplight or traffic light, I always have to think ahead. Now I've got a dead foot. I've got a missing foot. My new leg is made out of metal and carbon fiber, and it doesn't work that great. Especially, I'm still trying to figure out how to use it on a motorcycle. But when I'm riding twisties like this, curves and hills and street, and I don't have to worry about coming to a stop, life is wonderful. But it's that terror of coming to a stop, putting my foot down somewhere, especially on loose stuff. So loose gravel, sand, anything like that. So the thing that I love to do almost as much as is riding pavement is riding out in the woods. And we got off the trail. We got off the pavement here briefly, and it was a terror. The first little patch was, I don't know, 30 feet maybe, and the next patch was maybe 50 feet. But the second patch was off camber, and it was terrifying because I didn't have a rear brake, and I was afraid I was gonna lock up the front. Anyway, it was terrifying. You'll see it. It's coming up.
Yeah, that's what I figured. My biggest fear was mud. Oh, damn, this is so weird. I feel like there's a safe, like an iron safe on the end of my leg. Oh. Yeah, not falling over, dude. Oh yeah, this is much better than the last time I came out here. I guess it's all this cover.
Obviously, this first patch was a whole lot of nothing, as Luke had already told me on the headset intercom that there was nothing to it. But the last time I came through, it was wearing down, but somebody had created like a tank trap almost. At least a couple of humps in there that required some balance, no real skill, but it required balance. And I don't have as much balance because I don't have a rear brake. But I had to stop and set up the camera anyway. The next patch at the bottom of the hill, same thing, not that big of a deal unless it's a little bit wet. And it was a little bit wet. My front washed out, and it was terrifying. It was terrifying because I had to squeeze a whole lot of front brake to get the bike to stop. I didn't need anything. If I'd have just hammered on the throttle, I would have been fine. But this is a really cool road that they've closed down. It just happens to be sliding off the side of the mountain. I don't think they're going to fix this. I think it's going to cost too much money. But you can see there's barriers at the front of that road that we just went around. There's barriers at the bottom. There's people that have land down here, so I imagine a few people are kind of pissed. But I think really there's nobody that lives on this section that's going down the mountain here. This section that's hugging the side of the mountain at the bottom of the hill, though. There's property, at least. I'm not sure if there's houses down there, but there's property. People have land down there. So anytime you close off somebody's land, they get pissed. And this is probably a pretty good shortcut for a lot of people too. But anyway, it's just a little bit of an indication of the terror that I'm going through. I'm sure that 90% of my reaction is emotional and not rational, but that 90% is that irrational emotional reactions to traction is a big freaking deal. Especially, I just spent like 3 months pretty much not doing anything except walking around on crutches in a wheelchair, and that terror still lingers. And here's the spot coming up.
Not much worse than that last one. Stop being a bitch, indeed. Woo! Tell you what, right now, oh, fuck. Man, it's slippery. It's slippery as fuck, man. Jeez. It is. I just washed out right here. Yeah. Well, yeah, dude, I almost jammed my heel on that goddamn brake. I got traction control on the right one. Rear. I would never have a fucking dual sport with fucking traction. That's the dumbest fucking thing. Traction control is for recall. Or racing.
Rational or irrational, it's still fear. The fear is there, it's real, and it's just something either I'm going to have to overcome or learn to deal with, and I'm sure having a rear brake and learning how to use it with my thumb is gonna help me a whole lot. Just overcoming the fear is just going to be a slow process probably, and it's just going to be getting to the point where I'm comfortable again riding a motorcycle. Like I said, the curves, the regular pavement riding, no big deal. The panic comes when I get in traffic. The panic comes when I come to intersections. Having to stop, having to think about putting my foot down, foot placement, keeping the bike upright. Apparently, I'm no longer really good at falling. I don't fall very well anymore. I go to the hospital now, and that's a huge fear. So it's just something I'm going to have to overcome. And here I am cutting across some gravel. Anyway, it was a great ride. Besides the sheer moment of terror, riding across the wet-ish, slightly slippery patch of muddy earth on an angle, but it's just, I guess it's just a process. Like my little brother says, it's just a process. It's a process, and I'll get there. But yeah, I just thought I would share a little bit of our ride and the impact that it had on my mind.
Every mile I'm chasing the sun, motor giant rides on, the adventure's begun.